All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Alex Whitman. Thank you for tuning into my marketing presentation today. I'm a junior at Belmont, a music business major with a production emphasis, and I'm excited to present for this YouTube video today. So my topic I will be presenting on is the marketing process for an independent musical artist. And I chose this topic because I'm a music business major and very interested in uh, the artist industry and perhaps getting into it myself. I'm a lover of music, so I figured it would be a good way to analyze different marketing strategies, different marketing processes, and how they differ between independent artists versus the rest of the artistry crowd. So let's dig in. The first one is my first slide. What does it mean to be an independent artist? We'll answer that here. I have this direct quote from a source here, and the definition is an independent artist is a self-employed producer of music with no written or spoken ties to a contract or a record label. So what this means is completely independent, creatively responsible, financially responsible for their work. No contracts, no royalties have to be distributed to anyone else other than that artist. And something I found through my research is that many artists prefer this, although it's much more difficult as it grants them 100% creative control. So the alternative to this is a signed artist. So I have this slide comparing the two. And an independent artist will be 100% self-employed, like I said before, 100% creative and financial control. And something about this is that it requires a very sufficient knowledge of the music business. Let's say you're signed to a record label, you'll have a manager or I don't know, perhaps an executive at a record company handling a lot of the business side for you, which is nice as it does, as I have here on the right, grant more time for creativity. But you have to share your art and the rewards of your art, perhaps royalties, you have to share that with the record label under contract. So then furthermore, here on the right of my bullet points, you do get a lot better exposure with a record label. They've been in the marketing industry for years. They know how to promote your music. So you reach a wider art audience. Like I said before, more time for creativity, but less for creative freedom, unfortunately, because the label has their preferences and they designate what you can and cannot do. And then another nice thing as a signed artist is you receive advances, which means certain funds and different monies, and that will allow you to cover recording costs, production costs, pay the mixing engineer, all sorts of that stuff. So let's move on from this slide and get into the analyzation of the marketing strategies of an independent artist. So this slide titled social media, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen artists on Instagram, TikTok. Those are the two big ones I have here. It's TikTok especially has become just a huge platform for sharing art, promoting art, and it's done incredible things, and some would argue some more negative things in the music industry, but it has certainly made a direct impact, which I will go more into later. And then here on the right, I have another direct quote from a source that I found quite helpful to understand the impact of social media on the industry. It reads, in the US, 38% of TikTok users attended a live music event and 45% purchased artist merchandise in the past 12 months, compared to 33 and 35% of overall music listeners, respectively. So what this means to me is that those who use TikTok are just getting a lot more content from artists of all types, independent or signed, and it actually has made a difference in their participation in different events, such as live music events, or even something such as just purchasing artist merchandise, which could help an independent artist out in creating a profit. So next, I think looking further into TikTok is important. TikTok has a very particular and precise way in analyzing their users and developing content for them in something called the FYP, the For You page, based on what they have enjoyed in the past. So, excuse me. Part of this is engagement. You got video likes and shares, what the user is liking, what they're sharing to friends. Under that, I have video attentiveness and comment interaction. That's things like, let's say it's a 3-minute video and they only watch it for 7 seconds. TikTok will probably show content less in that category. You got user interaction, so content based on who they follow and what they've created themselves. And then even things as far as what I have titled device and account indicators. So it's let's say location, you're in the US, you will receive content based upon your location and things that might apply to you directly. Here's an interesting fact. 62% of TikTok users pay for a streaming service, compared to 43% of overall consumers. So that means that lots of TikTok users are seeing artists on Spotify, Apple Music, different distributors, and they are able to stream, which will benefit that artist, whether they are uh, independently in the industry or signed to a record label. The next, I included this interesting graph, just to give a overview of the industry. It's titled "TikTok Users Value Access to Global Artists on DSPs More Than the Average Music Listeners," and what this shows is that uh, their a TikTok user's access to global music is in the US 28%, 28% as a TikTok user, 21% as your average music listener. And that just shows the higher access that they have to global music, which could, again, directly affect a independent artist's streams and productivity. Next here, I'd like to take a further look into streaming services. I have four of the more popular ones. SoundCloud is unique in the fact that it's a different sort of subscription, but we have Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, and Amazon Music, and those are four of the larger streaming names in the music industry. One of the ones, especially as an independent artist, that is very important is SoundCloud. And what's different about it is that I have four bullet points here. SoundCloud allows users to upload without a third-party distributor. And what this means is that there's no middleman in the MP3 upload process. For streaming services such as Spotify, Apple Music, the larger ones, you need a certain distributor to be able to approve your music and put it on a service as large as Spotify or Apple Music. And that takes extra money, extra time. As an independent artist, it's really nice to be on SoundCloud and just go directly in to putting your music out there instead of needing to go through a middleman. Another thing about SoundCloud is it provides extensive social networking opportunities, and this allows artists to collaborate with each other, message each other, compare their experiences in the industry. It makes it very accessible to other artists. It also allows people of all levels of production experience to upload, and there's no mastering, no mastering, what's the word I'm looking for? No requirement for quality of mastering on SoundCloud, which is very nice. For Spotify or Apple Music, for example, you would need to get your music sounding quality enough to be on their services, but with SoundCloud, it will allow anyone and everyone to upload. And it also provides monetization of $2.50 to $4 per 1,000 streams, which is not as good as more popular services such as Spotify, but it's not bad for considering the circumstances that SoundCloud offers. Here is a little graph that I have of SoundCloud, and this shows what SoundCloud allows an artist to see. So as you can see here, it's the insights on their music. This artist got 354 plays, 3 likes, 4 reposts, 5 comments, 0 downloads, and this just shows the accessibility that SoundCloud provides on making it easy for an artist to understand where they are in the mix and how they can better understand how their music is doing. All right, this last slide, I have my sources listed. Thank you guys very much for hanging out for this and for listening to my presentation. And I thank you all for tuning in.